This is what it's come to, huh? You are the only living soul I can tell my secret to. I painted every single one of them. Every big eye. Me. And no one will ever know but you.
You made it! You're at North Beach. Come on, let's have some espresso.
What's that? Is that like reefer?
You have a lot to learn.
What's your name?
Margaret. Wouldn't you rather flirt with those girls down there?
No, I like you, Margaret.
Wow, this is all happening mighty quick.
I am a divorcee with a child. Walter is a blessing.
You're gonna love this stuff.
Why are their eyes so big?
The eyes are the windows of the soul.
That's why I paint them so big. I've always done it that way.
Why are you lying?
Sadly, people don't buy lady art.
The painting says Keane. I'm Keane, you're Keane.
Smile.
We're sold out. They adore you big eyes.
He sells paintings, and he sells pictures of the paintings, and he sells postcards of pictures of the paintings.
Good God, it's a movement.
So, are you flipping for all this?
Honestly, I can't believe I live here.
I remember when Mama painted that.
You're confused. I painted that.
What is troubling you?
I lied to my child. I'm just not that kind of person.
Is your husband that kind of person?
These paintings are a part of my being. Maybe I could sign it myself.
That sounds a bit confusing, doesn't it? Keane means me.
Do you want to give back the money? If you tell anyone, this empire collapses.
If that's the price. It's like a mirage. From a distance, you look like a painter. But up close, there's just not much there.
That's an outrageous statement!
Mom!
She's unhinged.
You don't even know what the truth is!
So, who is the artist?
This is a tough one. I mean, if anyone's going to support a movie about a woman overcoming the wrongs done to her, it's me. But this movie is just coming across, at least in its trailer, as anti-male. And the reason I say that from the trailer is that it seems to only be showing one very skewed side of the story. Oh, he's took credit for my art, he's a horrible, mean man. When you try and look at it from his side, though, you think to yourself, well, this was the way things were back then. Maybe a woman's art wouldn't sell. And when you think of it, he is responsible for the commercialization of her art, at least as we can see from the trailer. We don't see Margaret Keane trying to get the portraits put up in a gallery. It's not her idea to make postcards, etc., and to, as I said, commercialize it, and she just fails and, her husband steps in. He not only is someone who can get it done, but he takes the initiative, and I think that some credit is deserved there. And you also might think to yourself, well, why does she even sign Keane to them in the first place? Although in that time, I think a woman wouldn't think that she would need to protect herself from that. She would see no problem with signing her married name. So you start to think, well, why are you only showing one side of the story? Could anyone really be this horrible? Well, I looked it up, and apparently Walter Keane was even worse. There are accusations that he would lock her in the basement and threaten her life if she didn't paint and didn't uphold this lie that he was the artist, that he threatened her life, that he threatened her daughter's life, and just absolutely horrific stories about what happened. And, I don't want to give anything away what happens with the couple, but it's not a happy story. So you wonder if the movie's going to go that far. Are they going to show him locking her in a basement, threatening the life of Amy Adams and her daughter on screen? Is Christoph Waltz going to go there? Is Tim Burton going to go there? And if they are, why is that in the trailer? Because right now, as I said, it's just coming across as really anti-male. And this is something that concerns me overall as Hollywood enters this phase of female empowerment. I really am genuinely concerned about, the pendulum effect where guys suddenly find themselves marginalized and not well represented on screen. It was a big problem in Maleficent. It was the only flaw with that film. Very regrettable the way Prince Philip was treated. And I worry about this movie now here. And it's not going to do Margaret Keane any favors, because if this movie just comes across as anti-male, no one's going to go see it and see her very important story. So I hope that this is just a poorly cut trailer instead of something that misrepresents the story, doesn't show Walter Keane for the monster he truly was. and doesn't try to be objective even then. I think you owe it to the situation to be as objective as possible when you're especially dealing with real people. Now, when we go to the creative aspects here, of course, Christoph Waltz, Amy Adams, very talented actors. But what really surprises me here is Tim Burton and how much he's dialed back his aesthetic to the point where you wouldn't even know it was a Tim Burton film if his name wasn't on it. And I question that decision. Big Fish was a film that he made previously. It was kind of also a semi-awards contender. Did very well at the Golden Globes in terms of nominations. Only got a music nom for the Oscars. So maybe Tim Burton sadly feels he needs to dial it back if he wants to get that Oscar. At a certain point in everyone's career, they feel, I want an Oscar. And you'll see them really change up their style to try and get one. Steven Spielberg, of course, did it with Schindler's List, really changing and moving away from the blockbusters that had made him a household name to wanting that Oscar. Hitchcock never moved away from it, never got the Oscar, never moved away from his style, because it's so political with the Oscars. So I'm sad to see Tim Burton feeling that he needs to muzzle himself. Talk about artistic integrity. Here's a movie about an artist wanting to be herself, and you have it being directed by a movie with an artist not being himself for the sake of pleasing the public. It's almost as if he let someone else put his name on their name on it. Why doesn't he do that? And then at the Oscars, when that person wins, he can run up and go, "It was me!" I think that would be a much more effective statement than making a movie that doesn't really, show off. I mean, he'd be winning an Oscar or getting nominated for a work that didn't reflect what he'd contributed to cinema. So very weird choice. I mean, there are the big eyes that show up on, she's seeing, but I don't like the insinuation that she's going crazy. That's a sore point for me with female characters, that, oh, they're crazy, they're unhinged, women, women, you can't live with them, you can't claim their work. Just crazy situation. So I'm not happy about that development either. But we'll see. But Big Fish, great movie, didn't get a lot of recognition, and that to me, though, is, I think, a better example of his work than what this is. We'll see what the final product is, but I think Tim Burton could have done so much more with this, and I'm just worried this is going to be too tempered. But what do you think? Do you get an anti-Guy vibe off of this? Do you think that's a danger that Hollywood has to be more aware of? And does this story interest you? Do you think Walter Keane was really this horrible? I mean, it's never been actually proven. It's really Walter versus Margaret, he said, she said. But, of course, again, I don't want to give it away, but, I'm curious as to what you think. Could someone really be that horrible? Do you think both of them maybe are exaggerating? What do you think of this story? What do you think of the film? And also, what do you think of the way Tim Burton's approaching it? Do you wish that he was being more stylized, or do you think he's right? Do you think this is a good strategy to dial it back and try to finally get some concrete recognition from the industry? Write your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for tuning into my review, and you can check out some more episodes right now.